as we look to get underway. Brazil serving. VNL week 3 from Portugal. Out of system straight away, Serbia, and that's a first error and a first point for Brazil. Ferocious start. Maurizio Silva, the middle blocker. Jump float serve. Brazil looking to make it 7 from 7. And just fading away in the air and missing the baseline. Brazil the only team to have won all 6 matches in this Nations League. Manovic to serve. Flary stuff. It's a great start from Fernando. The ball's very tight to the net, so he has to go with one hand. He shapes it back on the pipe attack. The ball's into the net. Andy Leal going to the outside. Lucarelli through the pipe. Lucas having to take the first pass. Wallace doing exactly what Wallace does best. Body weight through the ball, working a sharp angle. Brazilian who's played for the national team for a long, long time. Fernando, the setter, just 23 years young. And it's an ace from the main man. Float serve as quick as possible, as close to the top of the net band. Gets a little bit of luck. Fast start this. It's a very quick start here in Gondomar. Brazil unchanged in their lineup from that team that beat Argentina last week 3-2. Just think of the depth from Brazil. William as well, who's a fantastic setter. So many options. The opposite man. Petrovic can only find the net. Mayaki comes back on where Andy Leal gets us underway, shapes it back to the line. It's a very fast serve onto the front court receiver, but the setter's done a magical job of opening up the net, setting 8 meters, trying to get Petrovic one-on-one on that right side. Passing as well from Serbia, very strong. Serovic putting the ball on point. Reception will be key for both teams here tonight, especially Serbia. You'd feel that Brazil can get away with being out of system. What a swing that is. Andy Leal just rips one through the pipe and then plays a little bit of defense. Brazil, second chance. If it doesn't go to Leal, it goes to Wallace, but Serbia with a huge block here early on. Katic. It's a monster block. But what a start from Serbia. Brazil have Leal on the pipe, Wallace on the opposite. Serbia score. But unfortunately, second ball into the net from the service line. Risk versus reward throughout that service stage of the game. You have to put the pressure on the opposition. But you risk missing the odd serve. The experienced Lucas Satcap, heavy-handed jump serve from him. Leal sitting so far up at 6, out to the outside. Lucarelli shapes one away, but it misses the sideline. Serbia have come to party. Setting quick to the outside, trying to put the middle blocker under as much pressure as possible. Okolitz with the serve. Lucarelli, the target. Great setting from Fernando. He has a little look. He's looking for his middleman all the time. Out of system a little bit. In too early as Wallace. Out of system from Serbia. Shaping to the line, but Thales just steps in. What a camera angle that one is. And it goes to the outside, Lucarelli. Unbelievable scenes here from Brazil. The height, but the setting from Fernando gets the seam in the block. The middles from Serbia are under all sorts of pressure here from Brazil. Wallace getting slightly carried away. The toss just taking him slightly too far into the courts. Wallace and the 7 feet of Vandro usually fighting for that opposite space. Todorovic serving onto the front court receiver, Lucarelli. They're trying to get him out the attack. They go to the middle. It's a great set, 2 or 3 meters off the net for Fernando to just fire that one slightly off of balance towards Souza. Nice job. Block out, point Brazil. Lucarelli. Top player from the VNL last week. Back to some middle action from Serbia. Both teams trying to use the middle early on in this one to try and hold the opposition middle. If you use the middle, the blockers have to be aware of that play, and there's more chances that you can get your hitters on the outside one-on-one. Technical timeout, Serbia, 1 in front early on in the VNL. Well, you can get involved. Hashtag enjoy VNL if you're watching on Volleyball World as well. But please get involved in this one. Brazil or Serbia? Serbia surely the underdogs, resting a few players. But they look strong, don't they? They have depth in what they do. Brazil might not have this one all their own way. The captain, Bruno, may not be on the court, but he's making his presence felt here. So much experience. Brazil fans, you just find them all over the globe. Great victories for Iran and Russia today. Just putting a little bit of pressure on Brazil if they want to go to the top of this Volleyball Nations League. Timeouts come at a good time because there's a disruption of the rhythm of the service, so an error follows. Souza will have the ball in hand. Brazilian side that won 3 World Championships in a row through the 2000s. Italy very much had the 90s, but Brazil just so strong throughout that early 2000 area. Lucarelli sits on the baseline, perfectly through the seam of the block, makes the dig. Just a little chip angle from Wallace as the ball's not wide enough. That's wide enough from Serbia. Lille having to play a little bit of defense. Fernando fires it back to Lille. And this is where Brazil will be deadly with Lille in their team. Out of system, when the first pass is off the net. Lille is so physical, he can score from anywhere. Lucarelli. Defending at the back. Lucarelli, the best attacker after the opening 2 weeks of the VNL with 58.16% success. Sitting up higher this one as the ball goes out to 4. Lucarelli has made 2 outstanding digs. But again, Fernando can't get the width on the set towards Wallace. The ball lands inside and he fires the wrong side of the baseline. Great work from Lucarelli, sitting right in the seam. There's a split in the block. He sits in the middle to take that one. He's reading the game really well back there. Gondomar just 5 kilometers away from the beautiful Porto here in Portugal. Portugal-China coming up next. Basement battle. Both teams desperate for a win. But this is the heavyweights of the group so far. Front court receiver served again, well out of system. Should be at least 2 in the block. There is 2. But wiping up is Wallace and Lille again. But this time he's shut down. The impressive Dusan Petrovic getting one on Lille. They play slightly quicker. Just changes his arm speed, Lille, and only finds the hats. Straight down. Lille the target. Wallace again. That's far better link between the setter and the hitter. And when there's width on the ball, Wallace comes out to play. Body weight goes through it. Arm stays smooth. It's an incredible swing from Wallace. He's got that one in abundance. Fernando. The middle play just out of rhythm. Slightly too quick through there. Okalitz. 3-point for Brazil, they'll enjoy that one immensely. 3-point game. Brazil, post-technical, have really taken advantage. Fernando serving well, topspin serve again. Back onto the front court receiver. Surely Brazil are going to make a play there, but no, what a swing. Petkovic, that ball's well inside from Petkovic. Challenge from Brazil because it's so close to the sideline, but Petkovic's feet so quick and dynamic to get to the left side of the ball. Looking for a net fault. Challenge for the net fault from Del Zotto. Hawkeye bringing the game forward. Goes to the stats. They have the final decision on this one. Wallace coming into the game. Fernando, whose rhythm wasn't quite there at the start of this one, the setter, but he's finding his options with far more ease. Net fault or no net fault is the question. This is going to give us a much better view. And the elbow is all over that one. Jovovic knows he's touched that one on the way down. Del Zotto, eagle-eyed, as always. Timeout Serbia. It's gone from a 2-point game to a 4-point game. They need to get the team in. Have a quick chat. Brazil growing nicely here.
Da probaš da nastaviš da znaš da ti šire ruke I to je to, reaguju posle. Okay. Na brzu loptu udvajaju ovamo, kao što I mi radimo, ne baš toliko, ali na visoku loptu Valac dolazi na 4. metar, a ovaj ne udvaja ka tamo. Tako da može dizaču visoko po paraleli. Ajde, probajte samo ove lopte koje idu oštre ovamo, pustite u aut.
Smiles for Brazil so far. Of course, they're doing what Brazil have done all competition. And that's put the opposing team under pressure. Fernando will have to regain focus after a timeout. He's just put a bit more flow on that one. It's a bit more zest with it. Goes to Petkovic on the opposite. Lille gets his own back. Petkovic trying to fire through that one on the angle. It's a robust swing from the opposite man. But Lille keeps his eyes on the spike, presses well. Great run this for Brazil, comes to an end. Great setters down the east, Ricardo, Bruno, Fernando now, the next one coming through. Still just 23. Substitution for Serbia. Luberic has come in for the setter, Todorovic. Out of system, Lille gets the ball back, and that's Andy Lille. Looking for a touch. He's completely sure he's got this one, so there's a challenge coming from Brazil. But Lille doing what he's done all year for Lube, and that's when the balls are out of system. He didn't pass that one perfectly himself, but Lube signed him to be that out-of-system guy who can score a point from anywhere. Block touch is the challenge. Let's have a little look. Seems like every time Brazil lose a point, they go to the stars. Big touch off the inside hand. Point Brazil, surely. Serving who played. Substitution for Serbia. Jovovic coming in for the opposite, Petkovic. So change of the setter and the opposite player for Serbia. Lille, who played for a long time for Sada Cruzeiro in Brazil, but now, as mentioned earlier, playing in Italy. It's a good look from Jovic. He goes to the opposite, but it's another block, and if it's not Lille, it's Lucarelli. They're huge, Brazil. No way through that one. Lucas and Lucarelli, double trouble on the pins. Serbia struggling. 16-10. They're running away with the opening set here, Brazil. Game's not even been going a quarter of an hour yet. And Wallace has really come to the forefront again. But what's impressive about this Brazilian side compared to maybe the one at the World Championship is the physicality they have on the wing. They can split the net with Wallace, Lille and Lucarelli, and it's going to give opposition blockers a torrid time. With Poland the world champions already, 2018, Brazil have to be seriously considered for the Olympic Games in Tokyo next year. Technical timeout over. Lille to get us underway again. It's another fine rip from the baseline. Jovic tries to go to the middle. It's a great set, 4 meters off the net. No wonder the middle player goes straight to his setter. Okolic high on more of a 4-meter ball, but finds the gap between the blockers, and that's exactly what they're doing with that longer set, is to try and find the gap between the block. Job done. Surovic. Lucarelli out of system again, but what we know with Brazil is that they're so big they can score from anywhere. They're looking for a net touch, chance in transition, but it's a free ball. Lille just throws it in. Fernando! Stop it! Lucas just turns round to his setter and says, great job. He doesn't even go over to him, he just points his finger. Again, the wider play, loses the blocker. Great setting from Brazil. Lucas buries it. Fire from the baseline as well. Brazil are going to be hard to catch, but then Serbia come flying back. Welcome back to international volleyball. Drazen Luberic. Great passing, loses the middle blocker. He has to hold with the middle because Serbia have passed that ball so well. You can just see how high they're hitting from a huge altitude out there. Lille. Passes well, but it's a little bit too straight. Wallace is incredibly athletic, but Serbia need this one. They don't take it. If Wallace doesn't score by spiking, he can score by blocking. That's why he's one of the best in the world. Katic's unsuccessful that time, but he's not the first to get blocked by Wallace. Service pressure as well that Brazil possesses, crazy. Middle work from Jovic, yet again good. He has a little look, he goes back to the middle. That's Hollywood work with the back set, but Brazil read the game well. Lucarelli gets shut down. Serbia, stop that. The back set, unbelievable from Jovic. And slightly out of system, the blockers delay their timing, they get the point they deserve. But the setter deserves some credit too. Pekovic back in for Jovic after that great setting. He's been subbed. Frustrations for Serbia defensively. Brazil sometimes just too big. Double substitution coming the way from Brazil. Chance for Del Zotto to really change, but great replays. Wallace off. Bruno, the captain, comes on, having just won the Champions League and the Italian League with Lube. It's not a bad substitution to make, really. Bring off your star opposite for your captain and star setter. faster plays because they're using the middle, Serbia. When they go to the outside, they've got more chance of scoring. The middle is holding all the time. Sousa makes that late step, but he's committed to the tight pass. All of a sudden, there's gaps all the time. Good passing from Serbia, just making sure that the middle from Brazil holding as long as possible. Gives the middle a free net, but it also opens up gaps between the blockers. 5-point game. It's at least 3 into the net throughout this opening set from Serbia, and that's going to be costly for them, but as we speak about all the time, you have to go for broke, especially against this Brazilian team. It just seemed to be even stronger. Just substitution from Serbia. You're allowed 6 substitutions a set, back setting, 2 in the block. The problem from Serbia is that the ball is not getting wide enough. Petkovic can only hammer angle, and who's waiting for him? 2 blockers, Lucas being one, Joandi Leal being the other. There's no line there for Petkovic. The ball's dying inside. Timeout Serbia, Del Zotto's tactics working again. Brazil, they're humongous out there this evening. The score is reflecting that.
Kada su dvojica visoki kao što su sada, znači korektor, primač I on, ne pomera se ni za metar levo-desno, ostaje u sredini I posle vašeg dizanja diže levo-desno. Tako da znate da ćete najverovatnije čim se lopta malo odvoje od sajle imati dvojni blok. Prema tome rokajte gore visoko. Daj.
7-point game. Brazil just seem to be serving bullets from the baseline, putting Serbia under all sorts of pressure. But when they can get the pass in like they have now, they can use the middle, they go there again. Good from Serbia, and when they're passing, they are using the middle really well. Peter Kuzmanovic putting the ball away. Just setting that ball slightly wider to try and pierce the defense to the left-hand side of the court. First 25, 4 will do it for Brazil. Out of system, but Leal loves this. He's got 3 in the block, but he still finds a way past it because he's so physical. Thales stepping up on the steep one. Leal going again. Back to Leal 3 times in a row. Lube playing for Brazil. Bruno's been giving him gold on the wings all season long. It's gonna continue for a while for Brazil. Salube connection, putting Serbia under all sorts of pressure. Leal stating on his Instagram that he's so proud to play for Brazil after not playing internationally for so long. What a player he's going to be. Error from Serbia. Sirovic. No touch from Bruno. You have to think, if you're making your first appearance for Brazil for 7 or 8 months, first appearance for volleyball in general in a month, that coming on like Bruno has with a clear lead certainly takes the pressure off one of the most experienced men in this game. Width from Serbia, drifting from Bruno. He's frustrated. He feels like he should have finished with his body facing back into court, but he gets wiped off quick from Serbia, and that's why the block hasn't finished. The ball moves quicker than feet. Serbia, they have to improve, but at times, they're a force. Simple stuff for Brazil. It's another ball into the net. Picture tells you so many words as Joandi Leal. Set point for Brazil. They've been consistent behind the baseline. Out of system Serbia, at least 2 in the block surely. No way past the blockers again from Serbia. Free ball, surely this first set now to Brazil. It's high from Lucas on the reverse attack. It's a massive touch off the block, but Serbia stay alive. Welcome back to the game. Dusan Petkovic with an absolute rasper. Now he's got the line. Still dropping inside, but he can see the court so well. Second set points. Taking pace off the ball, Andy Leal. Bruno doing what he does so well. The ball drifts into position 3. He forces it back to 2. Brazil take the opening set, and they're on fire here in Portugal. Serbia haven't got going, but with Lucarelli, Leal on the wings, Bruno now in, orchestrating the game. Brazil. That was over very quick. When you look at Brazil now, no Lucarelli at the World Championships. They played so well to make the final, but now they just have more physicality on both flanks. When that ball is set higher to the wings, when they don't pass perfectly, they're going to be strong. Let's have a look at some highlights. It's Brazil's first. So let's have a look at some stats from an entertaining set number 1 that went Brazil's way. More attacks, better in the blocking department as well. Serving 2. More errors from Serbia, 4 or 5 service errors. They're going to need to fix a lot to compete with this Brazilian outfit here this evening. It's just impressive from Brazil, whoever they have on court. Brazil have really come to the forefront through the likes of Wallace. Number 8, Fernando, is starting again. But when they're out of systems, when the ball is passed off the net and not into the central area, the setter has less options, sometimes just the one out to position 4 on the left side. And Brazil's physicality just mean that even when it's not perfect with the first 2 touches, they can still score out of system. Second set, Serbia with the serve will have to put the pressure on. Now they're out of system, so the first pass isn't perfect, but Leal is really high and strong, as we've seen. Fernando just trying to take the middle blocker away with the jump set, then looking for Sousa, but they're out of system, out of sync with their rhythm between the setter and the middleman. The whole idea of the game for the setter, trying to use the middle to try and get the outside spikers one-on-one. Out of system again, the ball's way off the net, but Leal is doing what he does all year round, and that's exactly what we're talking about. They don't have to pass perfectly to the front centre of the court, Brazil, to score points. Much smaller teams will rely on passing perfectly to try and get one-on-one. That's Leal against 3. You can have 6 blockers against Leal. He'll still win at times. Sousa again, flat float serve, no middle from, maybe not no middle from Serbia. He tries all the same. Petkovic has kept his place as opposite hitter, so there's still no place in that side for Luburic. Kuzmanovic frustrated the middleman. He plays his volleyball in Russia. Great league, Russia, Zenit Kazan. Fakel, to name a couple. Good passing back to the middle. Kuzmanovic is scooped by Wallace, and for a big man, Wallace gets down so well. Leal into the net again. Net touch from Yoandi Leal, but this is just getting slightly scrappy from Brazil. The first touch, sometimes too fast, sometimes too high and off the net, putting some pressure on Fernando, the setter. No Bruno again. Pipe attack. It's a foot fault by the looks of it from Lucarelli. The backcourt attack, you have to take off behind that 3-meter line. Fernando all the time looking to try and use the middle, use the pipe to try and hold the opposition middle blocker. Then when he goes to the outsides, there's going to be more gaps in the block to score. Wallace in too early. His arm doesn't come through the ball. See with the way that he lands. His body weight goes backwards. Serbia have started this one like they started the last, and that's fast. Kuzmanovic serving. Lucarelli out of system again. The ball's way off the net, but Leal can't score, but there's a continuation. Wallace is stopped. And look at the body language of the Serbs, just oozing, becoming more positive. Timeout, Brazil. Maybe they're feeling the heat. 3 up against Leal the first time. He's got no hitting angles, and Wallace has 2 on him as well. Fist-clenching work. Serbia are coming back into this one. Del Zotto talking to Fernando. Fernando's job is to boss the game. He makes the decisions, he's the playmaker. He has to use the middle, he has to set long distances to try and lose the middle blockers from the opposition. 1 timeout remaining from Brazil. Kuzmanovic will get us underway again here. This is a slightly different story. The timeout from Del Zotto, once again, enough to disrupt the mental rhythm of the serve. Kuzmanovic is frustrated, and maybe so he should be. Fernando, with a great run of serves in the first set, goes under the front court receiver. Brazil are just trying to serve the front court receiver to put him under pressure, to take him out the attack, and try and make him pass off the net, so the ball has to go through position 2. Serbia pass well, and they can use the middle, so they score again. Pass good from far. That's better from Brazil, who haven't passed well. What an angle! Wallace from the left, it misses out, but that's audacious anyway. You can have 3 in the block, and if you can hit that steep, that sharp, it's only 2 anyway. His arm just works away from the body. Another one for Serbia, though. Petkovic. They've only been behind Canada's Vernon Evans and Nelly from Italy in the opening 2 weeks, so the 3rd highest scorer after week 2 of the VNL. Hasn't quite found his confidence from the service line. Fernando just sitting up high, taking that one overhead. Todorovic now just spraying the ball back to Petkovic. What a dig from Fernando. Just steps up. That's 2 digs in 2 plays from the Brazilian setter. 3rd time lucky for Petrovic. He fires another round to Brazil. 8-4 technical timeout. This is a different performance from Serbia. They're taking the ball by the horns, but Brazil won't back down. Fernando. 2 great plays. No digging that one. Split in the block, hammer through the seam. Petrovic. Serbia proving they have some depth. Savic, Podokrasin, just to name a few. As mentioned earlier, they're looking towards their big competition for the year, actually being the Olympic qualifiers. They want to go to the Olympics at the earliest possible opportunity to take the pressure off, especially after missing out in Rio 2016. Brazil are here with their big guns. There's no place for Isaac Santos at the moment, the middle blocker. If you see him, is 2 meters 8 centimeters, but Portugal have a middle blocker at 2 meters 15 in their roster. He's only been playing 2 years, so you have to watch out for him in the second game here from Portugal. 2 timeouts, and post 2 timeouts, 2 missed Serbian serves. Brazil off the hook. Lucas. Low toss jump serve by the standards of world volleyball today. Slightly out of system, no middle, so it's 2 in the block. Souza doing well to get across. Lucarelli doing well to shake that one off the body and manipulate the play to the sideline yet again. Working away from the body line. Wrist goes away, arm comes through. It's the unnatural way to really hit the ball. Work the ball off the body well, you're going to score. Lucas again. Slightly better. Todorovic trying to work it to the outside, smuggling the ball through. Great decision-making on the outside. Katic. The ball's travelling so far that he takes the gamble that the middle block is still moving in the air and not penetrating. Very good. It's tough for the big blockers to move 8 or 9 meters across the net. Game of probability at times. Wallace! Serbia digging their heels in again. But Souza making a better door than a window here. Brazil just refused to give in. Front court receiver served again from Brazil, back to the middle, but they're waiting for it. The blockers know that it's going that way. Looks as if Souza just releases a little bit early, but doesn't penetrate the block and get his hands back into court. Good from Serbia, though, still using the middle. Still lead by 3. Pancake from Lille. All at sea here, Brazil. Chance for Serbia through the middle again. The middle work so far from Todorovic, so good. Super spike, and rightfully so, due to some good work from the Serbian setter as well. Wider play, loses Souza. Kuzmanovic does the rest. Bruno coming in for Fernando. Experience for youth. And that's Del Zotto realizing that his team are 4 down here. And this is very much his first 6. Lille not passing the ball into great areas. Lucarelli. Talk about this all day, Brazil. They don't have to pass perfectly with Lille and Lucarelli on the outside. High off the hands of Kuzmanovic. These players are not trying to hit steep, especially out of system. High, and they try and hit very good angles. Out the call. Souza's just having a little look to see if there was a touch there. Not guilty as the plea from Milan Katic. Plays his volleyball for Skra Bełchatów in Poland. Didn't have their best season domestically, but did fairly well in the Champions League. Making the Final 4. Skra haven't won the Champions League. At times champions of Poland. That'll be an interesting league to watch next year. Italian league, the forefront of world volleyball at the moment, though. So many top sides. Belarus serve for the first time. Pekovic, 2 in. Lille makes the first one, but it's just a continuation for Serbia. They're hammering hard, but it's great work from Lucas to get out there and help Bruno. Lille looking for the ball to go in. Serbia say no way. Andy Lille, you're not having all of this your own way. Lille has to get back in his box. He wants to try and call a challenge. This will give us a better look. And this serve. Second missed serve so far, at least on my count. Actually the third. It's problematic for Serbia in the first. Bruno. Whose father was the coach of this team for so long throughout the glory years. Just taught everything to his son as the ball goes to the outside. It's smooth. It's a great swing. Serovic. It's a wonderful angle that behind the player. You can see the width on the play. Wallace is blocking angle and he just stays smooth. Serovic is not trying to hit that hard. Smooth with the arm. The ball's in front of you all the way. 4-point game. It's another missed serve from the opposite man. Dusan Petkovic has fired his serve into the net too many times here. But Serbia still lead by 3. Still very much advantage there. Lille's time to fire out the back as well. 2 mistakes in a row for Lille. For this game, Lille scored 78 points, Wallace 77. Brazil were the only team with multiple players on more than 76 points. Bruno out of system. Finds Lucarelli, and it's not a bad pass by any means, but it's just a little bit quick and a little bit low, so it makes it difficult for Bruno to go backwards. So he has to fire it to the outside. There's no middle that time, but Lucarelli is on fire. Sakamp with that characteristic low toss jump serve width. And maybe he's not firing from the baseline, but Petkovic is starting to really find the link with his setter. It's a great set, just a meter inside that 3-meter line. Petkovic will do the rest. 4-point game. Let's have a look at Serbia's number 7, Peter Kuzmanovic, the middleman. Very much in this game throughout the second set, and that's because Serbia have passed well. The setter has managed to find him nicely. That was a highlight. Firing past Lucas to position 1. 6 points from the middle. Halfway through this set, quite impressive from Kuzmanovic. Serbia have only done half the job here, though. It's a long way to go. Brazil have changed the setting. Bruno's come back on. Randy Lille is frustrated with himself. He hasn't passed into a good zone, into that front and middle position, 2.5 or 3. There'll be some pressure on Brazil. Alexander Okolitz to serve from position 5. Goes for Lille because he's a serving target at the moment. Bruno finds Souza. It's a little bit out of sync. He's square on and just tries to fiddle it off his right shoulder. Loses height, but it doesn't matter because Souza is already so high. Just shakes it back past Kuzmanovic. Souza's spike height, 344. That's pretty high. Oh, again, just scooped from Wallace. Wallace de Souza, just the casual 1m98, just falls to the floor, makes the scoop, and then Brazil in transition. Lucarelli, we've seen angles from him, we've seen hard spikes from him. Now we see some creativity, getting himself out of trouble. Fire from Wallace as well, and Brazil are right back in this one from nowhere. Katitz, just dumps it. Didn't have much choice. Brazil will be really frustrated that they didn't get a defensive play on that. Maybe Wallace. Lucarelli looking to park on the outside of the block. There's a late deflection off the blocker anyway. But you still fancy Brazil to have to make that defensive play. Wallace, again, the ball just drifting across him. He's jumping inside out. 2-point swings. Brazil and Serbia. Brazil's first touch just hasn't been good enough this set. They are out of system because the first pass has been poor throughout. But that's the gamble you play with Leo and Lucarelli. Big units. Worth keeping an eye on Serbia throughout this pool stage. Gerbic is happy with how his team are progressing without some of their most experienced players. And then Leo overpassing again, and that's just really tells the tale of the second set for Brazil. Petkovic will do the rest, but the first pass is really flaky at the minute from Brazil. That middle block is always going to be drifting if you give the setter a free ball and a chance to dictate the game. This time it's Lucarelli passing out of system. There is no middle attack for Brazil, so they can make another defense here, Serbia. Petrovic again, but that's been scooped from Thales. On the turn, Lucarelli, it's another error from Brazil. And they have to turn the tap off because they're leaking points everywhere. Brazil making substitutions now. Lucas Lowe comes in for Yoandi Lille. Lucas Lowe in to try and create some consistency on the first touch. Once again, anytime Brazil break the play up, Serbia miss the serve that comes after it. They're allowing themselves to mentally switch off at times. But credit where credit's due to Vuk Todorovic. He plays his volleyball in Serbia, and that's what's good about this team. 6 of their squad this week playing volleyball in Serbia. It's good for their league, good for their national team, but Brazil fight back through Lucarelli. It's an ace from Lucarelli, who was sorely missed in the World Championships. He's scoring again here. But they need a run. Serbia have served well. Brazil have been under pressure throughout on their serve receive. Thales comes back in. The Mariki just sharing responsibility throughout this sphere now. Katitz. He's got back round to the service line quickly. Better passing. Lucas Lowe coming in and straight away putting the ball into a better spot. Now they're off the net, Serbia, and it's their turn to be shut down from Brazil. And you can just see, as soon as the other team are out of system, here it's Serbia, Brazil flourish again. Zorovic just trying to fiddle his way through the 3-man block. Not much time, but lots of action coming our way in the final stages of the second set. It's another block. Pressure on the pass of Serbia. The ball's in far too quickly. It's too tight. And Lucas can see the set. He can see the ball. He gets his mark. But anyway, Kuzmanovic can't get the ball over the net anyway. Timeout, 3-point game. Serbia having to just take a rest here.
U redu? Ostali pazite ako vam dođe 1 na 1. Okej, bravo, odbrana. Idemo dalje, dalje.
Interesting to know what's going through their heads at the moment. 3-point lead, but just potentially feel the pressure building throughout this second set. They've had it all their own way, rightfully so, because they played really well. Brazil have faltered at times, but mostly due to Serbia's pressure. Souza again. Straight down the line. This one might have to go to 4, but it's a great pass. It does go to position 4. There's a point for Serbia, and look at the reaction. Libero Nikola Pekovic celebrating so hard because that's a 4-point game now. Brazil take that one, it's back to 2. Off the hands of Bruno. You can see Bruno's so high for one of the shorter blockers. Lucas now hitting out of system as well because he passes too fast. And what you'll find from Lucas there, he's getting creative. He knows that the block's going to have a good read on him because the ball has to travel so far and so high. If it travels far and quick, he'll have an advantage. But it's a bump set, so there's 2 blockers up. He has to slow his arm down, hit high. It's good from Lucas Lowe. Brazil still on the charge. Serbia setting. Unbelievable from Serbia, but the pancake as well from Wallace. Irrelevant anyway. Incredible work. Todorovic setting that ball 7.5 meters. The reward is Petrovic getting almost a drifting Brazilian block and getting rewarded as well. Great setting. Serbia moving that ball 7 meters, trying to get the block drifting in the air, unstable. Bruno doing the same thing. And working for Brazil. There's light at the end of the tunnel here. Lucas Lowe made an impact since he's coming. Passed well, being creative in the way that he scored points. Knows he's too close to the net. He knows he can't hit that one. So again, just like the point previously, he has to create something out of nothing. Back to the middle, wide of the mark. Humongous moments here. It's not that Serbia did too much wrong. Pass was good, the setting was good as well. Oklic has just just spiked that ball slightly wide. Process great, outcome just wide. Brazil are back in this one, hold on tight.
Paralelo. Spreman na ovam. Okej, daj.
Opa, ovo je crvena flota.
Well, Brazil have switched back on. And it's Serbia that have started to falter. There's some more inexperienced players within the Serbian side than what we've seen in previous World Championships in the VNL, so it'll be interesting to see how they play under the pressure, and that's a great start. Ubric, the reserve opposite for this game. But coming on and doing a great job here. And that's just been playing in Turkey, wipes off Wallace. Brings up set point for Serbia. Got 3 cracks at it as well. Pass is perfect from Brazil. It's been rare that it's been that good throughout the second set. But unfortunately, they can't convert. Chance for Serbia, but free ball, surely. Third time of asking. They go back to Lubric, one-on-one, and Lucarelli rains down a bit of pain on Lubric and Serbia as well. We're back to 2 here. The inside hand of Lucarelli doing the business, pressing late and taking time away. Substitution Flavio in for Lucas. He needs to find 2. Nothing less will do. He misses the substitute. Unfortunate for Flavio, unfortunate for Brazil, but Serbia have been robust and relentless behind the service line, and they've been rewarded. 25-22, 1-1 here in Portugal. Game of 2 halves here. We saw the best of Brazil in set 1, and then, well, in set 2, Serbia just kept pushing and pushing. They pulled away. That's not the Brazilian performance that we've grown used to here in the VNL. Could be, today, be the first loss for them. Let's have a look at some highlights from set number 2. What a set it was. So the end of set 2 brings some analysis from Hawkeye. And it's looking at Serbia and their attack directions. Well, in set 1, they couldn't really use the middle as much as they would have wanted to. And look at that, they haven't really gone to the opposite at all. That's because of their pass. The setter's options really limited, going to the outside. Brazil had it easy. Look at that, so much more balanced. And they're bringing the opposite back into the game. Who's been really impressive throughout, Petkovic, the number 12. Great stats. It's really obvious to see what's been going on. Passing has been better, so they've managed to spread the net a lot more, Serbia. That's what the game's about. You can't just overuse one option. But so much of that is down to the way that you pass the ball as well. Some entertainment in the stadium. Expecting full capacity here over 3 days. Speaking to the Portugal technical director of volleyball earlier on the week, suggesting that Portugal desperately needed to leave here with at least one win. That game's coming next, Portugal and China, and what's a must-win game for both nations. And we're in Portugal, so Brazil obviously receiving a fair share of support here as well. Maybe a few are surprised, maybe a few aren't. But remember, Serbia, after losing their first 4 outings in this VNL, have come to the party here this evening against the Brazilian side that are no mugs. We go again. Set 3 of the Volleyball Nations League. We've got a big surprise coming our way. Remember, Brazil haven't lost a game so far. Setting is strong. From Serbia, Wallace with a rasper to the line, but Serbia get underneath it again. This is an unbelievable start to set 3. Lucarelli puts that point to bed. But Serbia didn't want to go to sleep. Nikola Pekovic earlier on, but Lucarelli with a thud. If every point's like that one, we're in for a treat. To line Katic, passing out of system again. They attack through the right side, but the Serbian team, they need to pass, and they need to pass well. The problem is that Brazil come to town with a hard-serving athletic team. Pekovic goes long. Passing's better from Serbia. Because of that, they can work Bruno's blocks, speed to the outside. Zirovic puts the ball away, plays for Padova in Italy. Just smuggles it through. Lucas doesn't like it, nor does Bruno, but Serbia will. Dorovic setting really nicely from Serbia throughout that second set, but Brazil through Wallace. Wallace never really stays quiet for long, and he was too quiet throughout set 2. Once again, when Brazil pass well, there's gaps in the block because they play quicker. The ball moves quicker than feet. Job done. Error from Serovic this time, so after a strong play previously, knowing that he's got 2 blockers on him and no gaps to get around, it's the same again, and he tries to wipe to the line. Golden start for Brazil. Bruno has a little look and then goes to the middle. Scoops all around the libero. Pekovic. It's 2 great plays from him early on. That's straight down. Oh my word. Wallace curtains on the Brazilian opposite. It's high, he's underneath it. It's 1-on-1. Serovic with a monster block. Wallace will have to remember that one for a while. The sort of block that might give you some nightmares. Andy Leal back in after being substituted previously for Lucas Lowe. Bruno makes a read. He doesn't switch off on the back court. Wallace does the rest, but some of that must go to Bruno because he's defending the back right-hand side of court. But he scoops that second play from the middle. It's a super spike from Wallace. But some of that you've got to appreciate from Bruno's defense. It's sharp. Serovic got him last time, but Wallace has the last laugh on this occasion. Ferocious stuff here. Colossal from Wallace. What a game.
Nemaju potrebu oni za našim poklonima. Igraju oni sasvim dovoljno i sami. Okej, daj. Pazite na...
Bruno just showing again how important it is to stay awake when you haven't got the ball. You spend so much more time in volleyball not touching the ball than you do actually touching it, that what you do off the ball is so important. And Leo is on the ball and he's absolutely crushing it. Hold on tight. Brazil faltered in the previous set, but this is Brazil and they always come back with a bang. Three aces, all to Brazil, firing up the furnace. Another one from Lille. The Lube outside, showing how strong he is from the baseline. Quick feet, fast arm, hitting the gap between the receivers. Serbia in struggle town right now. great plays early on in this third set. Still a lot of life left in this one though. Do not go anywhere. There we go. Lucarelli scoring, but Yoandy Leal is just a ferocious volleyballing beast from the baseline. He's not had it all his own way with his pass this evening, and that's why he got substituted in set 2, because of his first touch. But this is what he brings to the game. Volleyball is about scoring points. Double substitution for Serbia. Ljubric coming back in. Petkovic, Dusan Petkovic making way, as is Todorovic as well for Nikola Jovovic. You'd expect to see 3 hitters on the front court from Serbia, but they have to break the rhythm of Yoandy Leal right now. Can they? No, but it's a good pass from an absolute thud of a serve. Katic, number 3 from Serbia, just somehow holds his arms out for long enough to get his platform on the ball. Wallace doesn't quite penetrate. He wants to be getting in the face of Katic there. Katic takes advantage. They need to fight fire with fire here. They just fight fire with water. Straight into the net. It's very much what we've seen in set 1, was Serbia's serving not quite being or reaching the level of Brazil's. If you look at the way that Brazil are lined up, Lucas, Wallace, Bruno, Leal, Lucarelli, all serving well, they're going to cause any team problems. Maybe a handover. Bruno looks for the handover, but it's maybe looking for a little bit of luck. Drifting in the block again, but slowing the game down, Souza. All good from Serbia. Glitch serving. Vales just pops the ball in. He's so relaxed, but 2 in. Kuzmanovic. He was the player that we watched in the second set, and now he's got a monster block here as well. Keeps his eyes on the play, and he's up against Souza. Souza went that way last time. Kuzmanovic takes him this time. Passing from Brazil is still slightly better than it was in the previous set. Leal passing into a pretty good zone. Wallace. As soon as Brazil pass within the first 2 meters of the net, it's game on. They should side out. Katic doesn't quite fix his outside hand. Wallace takes pace off the ball. Width is far better, but it's one-on-one on the outside. Lucarelli. It's a monster block. He jumps into the angle. He knows he's one-on-one on Ljubric. Great camera angle. So he shows him the angle, and then he takes it away from him late. DIY work from Lucarelli. Passing strong again from Sirovic, though. Chance in transition. Leal just stabbing away at the ball. Wallace hammering away as well. Bruno goes back to Wallace. Celebrating already in defense. Jovovic, the setter, just loves making defensive plays. Another defense. This is one of the best rallies of the game so far. Looking high. Persistence in defense well and truly pays off for Serbia. And they're back to 5 here. Jovovic the first time. Petkovic, the libero, the second time. Gets his feet behind the ball there really nicely with the set. That set was well inside on Ljubric. Leal scooping it high, but it's not central enough. Has to go to the outside. But that's an angle from Lucarelli. Oh my word. So fast with the feet. He knows he's got 2 on him, so he has to work the ball back sharp to score. Great attacks for Lucarelli. 12 points overall as he serves through in the block. Bruno just takes that late step in, reads the game marvellously well. Has to get past Lille here, Lubric, and he does. Physical game, giving us everything we want on a Friday night in Portugal. The width of the set. Incredible from Jovovic. Bruno goes to the pipe. He loves running that play. He almost shows that he's going to throw it outside and then all of a sudden works it back, loses the blocker. Lucarelli has the drifting hands of Serovic to work off. That's Bruno being Bruno. The ball goes one way, he pulls it back the other, loses the blocker. Serovic the target again, the front court receiver, just trying to upset his rhythm and get the middle out of the game to try and get more blockers in the face of the Serbian attacks. Kuzmanovic. He's played well, hasn't he? All the way through here, and he's up against Lucas and Sousa in the middle, so he's got his work cut out, but he's loving playing to one. The deliberate tactic of Serbia is to try and hit away from their middles, of course. They're so physical. Have to keep the ball out the middle of the court. Bruno trying to go high risk. Thales somehow parks underneath it, puts the handbrake on. Lille just crushes it. And this is the Brazil that people want to see, out of system. They can just score from anywhere with Lucarelli and Lille. The ball's well inside there, but he's a monster, Lille. Gets his feet to it, thrashes it past three blockers. Good from Serbia. They're 6 down. Lubric goes to the line, and that's credit to the width of the setting. Hips go underneath the ball. The hands really thrash it out to the stick. 107.8 kilometers an hour. Money. Lucarelli, the target. This time out from Lille, and that's another play that's just dropped inside to the left-hand side of the spiker. It means he loses his height. There's no line available there for Lille. He looks for the hands by the looks of it, because he knows he won't score by hitting the floor. 4 points, set 3. Ace from Serbia, here we go. The captain, Nikola Jovovic, just disrupting the passing unit, serving the seam between Lucarelli and Thales. You have it. No, you take it. The ball hits the floor. 3 points the difference here.
Na dvojni blok, ostavljamo paralelu Lealu. Okej, na visoku loptu. Pomeramo svi ovamo levo. Okej? Ajde, tu smo ljudi, jedan.
Giving us a bit of everything, this one. Got some big out-of-system plays. We've got some smart work from Serbia on the wings and some big, feisty opposite plays from the right side. We've got some mega rallies. We've got some monster blocks. We're doing all right here. Jovovic to serve. Goes back on Lucarelli. Right side to Lille. And that's... You can see Jovovic, the server, just frustrated with that one, because he's taken so much pace off the ball, and this is the risk versus the reward. It's a great swing. If you serve too soft, the pass is perfect, and Lille and co will score all day. No reward with no risk. 2 aces for Lille. Jovovic goes back to the middle. That's the secret recipe. Jovovic looks like he's partying hard with that celebration. It's because he's using the middle, and the pass is good. Serbia are growing again. better serving. Lucarelli all at sea there, now chasing into block. Transition, great setting from Jovovic. Not only does he know that that ball travels 8 meters and he can lose the blocker, but Lucarelli is still charging in from passing so far out of system. Puts him under all sorts of pressure here. Once again, Lucarelli dives into the angle because he knows he's one-on-one. Lubric goes to the line because he knows better this time. Back to 2 again. Serbia, 5 points so far for him. 4 attacks, 1 block, serves into the net. Crucial time. If they can score again there, Serbia, they're back to 1. Instead, it's a 3-point game. Technical timeout. Brazil still just about in control. Let's have a look at Yoandi Lil, one of the star men of this team. Man that was signed from Gianpaolo Madai at Lube instead of Taylor Sander, the American outside, to provide some of those swings. Out of system, big physical player. Champions League winner. He's had a great season, Yoandi Lil, as we have a look at some stats. 9 points for the Cuban-born Brazilian outside. 2 aces as well. Had that strong service run in the early stages of this 3rd set. Serving is so key. Teams have to be so good at putting the pressure on the opposition from the baseline. Passing perfectly into position 2. That's easy offense. Lubric will be very disappointed, as will Jovovic, the setter, just because pass is perfect. Lucarelli again dives into the cross court, leaves the line, but the ball's just inside again. There is no line. He tries to cross sharp angle, almost takes the coaching staff out. Jovovic having to take that one. Libero's in to set it. 3 in the block. No angles. Has to go soft because there's 3 blockers. Pancake! Brazil all too laid back. Nobody taking control. It's sloppy. Credit to Lubric. He knows he's got 3 blockers against him, so he gets creative and has to take pace off the ball, but Brazil should know better than that. Kulic serving. Lil just safely putting the ball at 3. There's no middle because it's too quick. You can see hands on the hips from Serbia because they would expect to make a defensive play out of that one. Smart from Lucarelli. Again, he can see the block. He knows there's no space to attack hard. He hasn't got the sharp one back, so he has to tip over the top. Wallace, who could easily see us through to 25 behind the service line if he gets on a run. The middle is where this Serbian team are growing. Osmanovic again. Slightly on the way down hitting that one, but everything they spike is towards 1 through that middle area. Trying to evade the big block of Brazil. Lubric. They've struggled to get on a run behind the service line, haven't they, Serbia? Tightness in the legs. Lucarelli with another thunderous blow. Little joust at the net, goes the way of Brazil, but it's Serbia that has a chance to score. Chop back, seen by Wallace. He moves really early, reads the game well, and through Lucarelli. Getting involved. Is he disrupting the game? If the referee feels so, the point will go to Serbia, but the ball might have just hit the floor before the invasion of Lucarelli. He's a big unit. You don't want him invading your space. Great swing, though. Ball drifts across him, sees it well. Now Lucarelli to serve again. Chops it back on the cross-court angle. Lubric! Humongous from Lille. It's a monster block from Yoandy Lille. He can see it early. His hands are taking time away from the spiker. Lights out from Yoandy Lille. So high, so dynamic. Raining down some pain on Serbia. Six-point game. Just see Yoandy Lille almost having his whole head above the net when blocking. They're blocking a lot of angle on the Serbian opposite. They don't feel that he's obviously coming to the line enough, Lubric. That could be down to Jovovic's setting, not quite getting the width needed to get the ball across to the right side of the spiker to get it into their hitting window to hit both ways. Lucarelli. Serovic with good passing. Serbia love attacking the middle. They love creating great middles, but this time Wallace goes to Tool Town off the hands of the blocker. Osmanovic drifting. It's tough for a middle blocker against Bruno. You always have to be watching through the net and expect the unexpected. Back towards position one. Deliberate serving tactics from Brazil. Off the hands, over the top. It's jumbo over the top of Valles. Too little, too late, though, you would feel. Souza went so early because he knew exactly where the ball was going. He was surrendering the middle attack completely. Comes in for Katic. Service substitution for Serbia. And they're going to need a run, really, of it. 4 or 5 would be nice. They're not even going to get one, though. They're surrendering this third. Bruno, who's been ever present since the poor Brazilian start in the second, the captain, who is the one to watch for this game, certainly brought some stability, experience, some calmness to the flow of the game. Souza. 2 will do it. Back to the line. Maybe the ball's going to the outside. No, it's scooped back to Lubric. They're trying to keep Lubric out the game by serving to position one. Wallace just loves chopping back that angle, but Lubric is there again. It's a second chance for Lubric through the Brazilian 3-man brick wall. Both teams trying to get 3 in the block whenever they can, because then there's less hitting angles for the spiker to take on. Bruno is the third one that time, and you take him on because he has the largest distance to get to the block, but it's off Lucas. 2 missed serves in a row. Poor from Serbia, unfortunately for them. And that's set point for Brazil. Too many missed serves. Osmanovic. Brings up set point for Brazil. Bruno serving. The captain. And it's an ace from Bruno, and it's a golden performance in the third from Brazil. The Lube setter goes to town on that one. 98.8 kilometers an hour. It's an ace, but it's also another set for Brazil, who are looking to make it 7 from 7. They're in a good position now. That's when the service pressure from Brazil, they have so many big hitters from the baseline. It's persistent pressure. It doesn't matter who's there for your passing unit. When they're on form, they're hard to stop. Serbia, great performance in set 2. Struggling throughout 3. Let's have a look at some highlights from an entertaining set 3. What a treat as we have a look at some stats from set 3. More attacks from Serbia, check that one out. But more errors as well, 9 errors in one set. It's going to be costly in a race to 25. Service pressure, 2 of those aces were from Yoandi Lille, but that's another bit of proof in the pudding of the service pressure that Brazil are punching from the baseline. So we talk about big scorers in this one. Leo has got 10 points, but Lucarelli, 11 attacks, 3 blocks. 2 outsiders scoring really heavily. Wallace has only scored 8. If you think usually your opposite player is the top scorer in your team, but in this Brazilian team, they're so big on the wings. Serbia, well, Lubric, who's been in and out of this Serbian team, is the top scorer with 9 points. Alongside Kuzmanovic, the middleman, the number 7. Kuzmanovic has been dangerous throughout the middle, especially the one that he shapes back to position 1. There's Bruno, libero and setter, the engine of the team. Brazil just taking a look at the entertainment mid-set. Big game coming our way after this one. China are up against the hosts, and you can see it's getting busy in here in Gondomar. China and Portugal have only won 1 game each, and that was against Bulgaria in the Volleyball Nations League. Win tonight for either of them would be so key to try and stay in this league. For those developing countries, China, Portugal, they're trying to build a better national team program. The Volleyball Nations League will be the bigger thing in their season. Constant games against the best teams in the world. They won't want to get relegated. There's so much entertainment coming our way from Gondomar. We're about to get underway. Volleyball Nations League, set 4, Brazil versus Serbia. It's been head-to-head, toe-to-toe throughout Lille. Slightly underneath it, goes a little bit long. When you're underneath it, your arm can't come through the ball and the ball goes out. Happy Serbian players there. Way wide from Lille. Nikola Pekovic, the libero, more service pressure. Lille and Lucarelli been up and down in the service. No way! Pinball from Brazil, another opportunity off the hands, but through the net, the referee's given it. Maybe it's luck, maybe. But there's some good fortune in there from Brazil as well. We'd love to have another look at that one. Did anyone even know anything about this from Brazil? Ball's gone off the hands. Bruno and also Souza didn't know anything about it, just threw an arm out. But the error from Serbia, the point goes Brazil's way. Out of system, no middle. 3rd opposite player used here this evening. Vucevic. Bozidar, Vucevic also plays in Serbia. 2 meters, 5 centimeters. Has to go and use every inch of that against Yoandi Liu and Lucarelli. Or even against Lucas, who's so strong. High, he's stable in the air. Can see everything before whipping it back to one. It's a super spike, of course it is. It's a hammer. Good passing. Liu just retreating off playing defense because he can't get involved in the block. 2 from 2. Lucas. 2 completely different plays from the Brazilian. First one was completely in rhythm, showboating stuff. This one was a bit inside. He just had to force it. Brute force from Brazil. Out of system again. No middle attack, no outside. Vucevic has to go to the outside. Bruno stays high to Liu. Can he score from here? Well, he can't, but he can at least knock Serbia out of system from their out-of-system play as well. Drifting in the block. Better from Serbia. Just see, both teams are just, even if they don't score the point, so many threatening plays, at least getting the opposite team out of system with their swing. Just trading blows here. Liu, better passing, little look from Bruno, goes back to Liu. Fantastic, the ball's passed to position 3 from position number 1. Bruno knows that's all him. Super spike from Liu, but it's the pass that goes into 3. The blocker has to come this way towards the right side of your screen, one-on-one, and you always back Liu on a one-on-one attack. Serves into the net this time. Everything's being dictated to by Pekovic, the libero, trying to force some intensity into his team. Intensity, body language, communication all lead to intensity, and Serbia need it. Lucas, hat-trick! We've seen him on the short ball. There's some problems here. Lucarelli and Lucas just knocking each other out. 2 Brazilian bulldozers. Give me some force in that collision. Huge swing. First one was the quick attack. That one's the more faded play. We've seen him on the back set as well. Saying about Brazil, there's no weakness in their serving. Serbia are yet to really pass the ball into that threatening position 3, that central area. But they're hitting their way physically on the outside tactics as well. Plays in Poland, he's used to the big games and he's used to playing big players. Poland's a league where you'll sometimes see 10 and 11,000 people packed into an arena. Better from Brazil. You can see that when they're passing well, they use the middle, whether it's Souza or Lucas, irrelevant. But they can use the middle. It means that the blocker from Serbia is under more pressure. There's a challenge here from Serbia. Unsure what for at the moment, but it's an in-out challenge. Let's have a little look, shall we? Just bringing a new element to this game. Tension, drama. Crazy thing from Serbia is that we haven't quite seen their best side here, but this is one of the best sides that Brazil will put out throughout this competition, so we have a look at in or out. Ball is in by a whisker. Another one for Brazil. Just think of this Brazilian side as more physical than the side we saw at the World Championships in Italy and Bulgaria. Wallace has really got some support on the flanks. Pekovic is still trying to fire up his troops. It's like a tiger that hasn't quite been fed. Pekovic to serve, passing is tight. Bruno looks for the hands of the middle blocker, gets rewarded. Leo is somewhere by the advertising boards and just wipes up. And then Wallace just does the rest. Pekovic. Two setters that Serbia have used, but that's off the hands of Katic again. So again, the blocker has to try and penetrate the net with that. It's take time away. It's not so much about height. Lucarelli, 15 points so far into the net. Leo with 11, Wallace with 9. We still haven't seen Fernando, the setter, because Bruno's had to come in and just steady the ship after losing the second set. Thales, perfect passing. Bruno on 2. We haven't seen that so far this evening, but he's a front court setter and he's completely within his right to. They're looking for a net touch here, Serbia, and they're growing again. Happy days for them. They're refusing to throw in the towel here. 8-7. Maybe I'm wrong, but Serbia has led at every technical timeout apart from set 3. Dalzodo's back in the mix.
Pomognete na prvom tempu. Okay? Sad je počeo da trpa prvi tempo. Sad će mnogo pre da igra prvi tempo, pa je dobar prijem. U ovoj pogotovo poziciji. Pazite sad na Lucarelli ako ga ne pogodimo servisom.
Brazil really blocking some huge angles, blocking cross-court, but mega cross-court at times, leaving the line for the right sides of Serbia to play with, but that ball from Serbia sometimes not getting across the right side. And the gamble for them is that the set's not quite getting across the right arm of Luberic, so he can't hit the line if the ball drops inside. Brazil will know that and just go to town on those angles. Miss serve from Serbia. It's another miss serve post timeouts. Not ideal. Souza. 2 miss serves in a row. Serving. Wallace. You can see the difference with Wallace when he's a little bit out of sorts. The ball's behind him. His arm doesn't come through and he lands and goes backwards. Leo the service target again, but it's into a good zone. One-on-one, Leo, the drifting middle blocker. And Yoandi Lille is sort out of system, so you put him in system. Dangerous. The middle sucked in, one-on-one. Lille takes out Krasmanovic. Suffer that. It's painful. Passing tight from Serbia. Good DIY on the outside from Sirovic. But if it's not Lille, it's Lucarelli. The balance in this Brazilian team is just something. We're all square. It's a super spike as well from Lucarelli. Balance is key here from Bruno, though. He's serving well, but he's using all of his big guts. And as we saw at the stats of the second set, using all your options is key. Spreading the play. Bruno's doing exactly that at the moment. Ace! What a substitution Vucevic has been since coming on. The 23, really heavy, all his way through that one. Precision, class from Serbia. 2-point game here. A lot of it is down to the substitutions that we've seen from Gerbitz, the coach. It's not working, you have to change something. 2 aces, previous set. Leo, unleashing again. It's another absolute ripper. Katic just puts it on the plate, though. And as soon as Katic puts it on the plate, Okolits can feast. Lucarelli trying to get involved with his shape back, beating the block as Serbia cruising. Really going to see a 5-setter here. More service pressure. Brazil have been knocked out of system far too many times. Lucarelli scores. Difference between the third set. They haven't served quite as well, Brazil, and their passing again has gone a little bit rogue. Flavio comes in for Souza for Brazil as we have another look at a replay. Passing from Katic, strong again. That's the last 2 that he's been put under pressure. And he's still managed to produce a platform into the setter from his arms. Vucevic, rare error from the opposite man. Still drifting in the block from Flavio. It's just a sign of good setting. Trying to make that middle blocker drift and not get out to the wings to give your hitter a chance to score with minimal blockers. Brazil, well, between a rock and a hard place at times. Okolits, 5 points this evening. All attacks, no aces, as he got one here. Lucarelli, bit of DIY from Lucarelli. He's getting served to the inside to try and stop him getting out and to stop his approach with his spiking. But it doesn't matter, he's so fast, he can still hit angles. They're trying to take his line away there, Serbia, I think. If you make the outside spiker step inside, it's going to be more difficult for them to hit sharp angles, but Lucarelli's one of the best in the world, and now he's making defense as well. Bruno on the charge, back to Lucarelli. Tipping away, pancake defense. This set's giving us a little bit of everything. Bruno, speed with the southpaw. Lucarelli with the right hand, tipping, or with the southpaw, just takes another swing at Serbia. First one with the tip, Serbia with the defensive plays, but this one, it's too wide. Just wipes the left hand at it. Width. Point or errors. Long work from the referee. Vucevic scores again. Impressive, really. So much width from the setter as well. It's exactly what Serbia will need, is the width on the ball to be able to hit every little bit of court. Jovovic chasing after this one. It's not going opposite again. It goes to Katic. Sweeping to the line is Lille. He's a bit slow on that one. It's another audacious, creative swing from Serbia. Technical timeout here. Crunch time. Pekovic has been on fire tonight.
Ostaje uvek prvi tempo kao opcija, razumiješ? Ovaj ovdje okreće levo desno, dolazi kasno, ali okreće ka...
Okay, where are we at? It's a 1-point game here in Portugal. It's a game that's throwing the odd spanner in the work with Serbia, who have fielded a younger team. Yeah, only one player under the age of 30. Brazil have got the big dogs out. And at times, there's been a difference in class from Brazil, but they've also not been consistent. That's opened the door, really, for Serbia, who've played some really good ball at times. Width from Bruno! That's a monster block! The Serbian blockers on flames here. There's Manovic. Point number 10 of the evening. He's late, but his arms get up and press. Sorry, Katic. Katic, point number 8 of the evening. Ball goes short onto Flavio. It's good from the middleman, who's not expected to pass, and because of his pass, Bruno can just run that game with width and ease and guile. Alan can go to the line on the right side. Most difficult swing for an opposite player at times. He wants to travel across them, and his arm has to go away from the body as well, which is two movements that are difficult to do. Lucarelli, 19 points again. Best player in the VNL last week. He's bringing the heat again, but this time it's too hot, and the ball goes out the back. The future's bright for Serbia, that's what we do know. Service is key, and Leon is under pressure. But how many times do we have to say it? Leon is in this team not to pass dimes, but to score from anywhere. He's so physical that you could throw the ball in the car park at times and he'd still find a way to score. Fast passing, Serbia in system with Kuzmanovic. Can't put the ball away, Lucarelli goes for broke. Would you expect anything else apart from the southpaw surprise that we saw earlier on? Ball's well inside. Good lead from Katic. First game of this weekend might be going to a tiebreaker. Oh, it's another block. Another one from Zerovic this time. On the wings in the blocking department. Okalic is getting involved in that as well. This time it's definitely Zerovic that gets the block. Great finish, everything facing into the court. Penetrating the net. Alan is shut down.
Visi, hoću da se braniš u zoni 6. Mile, braniš se u zoni 6. Mile, ideš u 5. Ajde!
Back onto the front court receiver. Leal, back to DIY. He goes off the body, but he stops. Serbia are really active in their eyes at the moment. They're seeing everything. For the second time of asking, Lucas is brought back into the game. If you remember early stages of this set, Lucas was on fire. It's a super spike, but yet again, he fades that ball away towards position 1. And Serbia just have no answer. Oh, middle work from Serbia this time. They just reply. And they trump the Brazilian card when using the middle. This game, it's just a gift that keeps on giving. Vucevic, who's been incredible. Bruno pulling the strings. Leal is shut down now. 3 blocks in quick succession on the left side for Serbia. Zerovic again, it's another monster block. It's a monstrous monster block because it shatters the Brazilian dreams. One-on-one, drops into the cross. Lille has been shut down. Allen and Lucarelli as well. No answer at the moment. 4-point game. Bruno potentially slightly only coming back to training after a month out after the regular season. The Italian league so tough, so he's not at full fitness, but there's another ace. Huge moments in the V&L. Vucevic again. Inspired substitution. It's another big serve. Fales just way off the net, goes to the outside. No other option really for Bruno but to use Allen. Chance in transition, who does it go to? Of course it goes to Vucevic, but this time Brazil get their own block. It's just a physical battle. Incredible scenes. So relaxed in the block. Eyes looking through the net, not looking at the ball. Need a miracle here, though, Brazil, to take this one in 4 in the pass. Strong from the libero, Pekovic. Too tight from Bruno! Far too tight, which makes it the blocker's ball. And it's set point to Serbia. Why? Because they've made so many blocks within this set. Lucarelli this time shut down. Set point for Serbia to take it to a tie break. Fales puts the ball on the spot. He's scooped in position 1 from Vucevic. 1 saved. Bruno playing with miraculous speed. He is a magician. Lucas. At least 4 needed here. Passing slightly out of system. There's no middle attack. Inside 10. Taken from Serbia. They've won the last 2 matches in the V&L. Tonight was always going to be tough, but they've responded. They're growing, and they have potential to beat Brazil, a Brazilian side who haven't lost in the V&L this season. Vucevic has been incredible. (25-20). Oh my days. Tiebreak set to 15 points. Captains tossing the coin. Bruno wants to receive by the looks of it. Jovovic says it doesn't really matter what end we start at. Remember, highlights of what was a really great set. We go to a tie break here in Portugal. Let's have a look at some stats. The important one is that it's 2-2. More attacks from Brazil. The blocking, 4-1. It's the difference, isn't it? Some monster blocks. More aces from Serbia too. The errors from Brazil, scary. Too many errors. The second replacement opposite for Serbia, Vucevic, has been excellent since coming on. They're just starting to believe in themselves here, Serbia. You'd imagine that the Serbian team who aren't here, the likes of Podrick Krasin, Vucevic, will be watching this very proudly. Because this is Brazil. Yes, Bruno is just getting back into the swing of it. Leo was second week for him as well. So they're not peaking. But Serbia are performing here. Inconsistent Brazil. Del Zotto looks like he's feeling some pressure as well. Set 5. Still only feels that this game started 5 minutes ago. It's been that exciting. Over 2 hours so far. The captain, Vucevic, gets us underway, and it's a good start. Somehow Bruno just scoops it, but Serbia have started exactly as they finished the previous set. And that is putting so much fear into Brazil. Zmanovic, great left hand, pressing on the inside. Brazil are shaking here. Lucarelli, not perfect from him, but it's good from Bruno. Bruno, back to the net, just works it off the right shoulder. Difficult for Flavio to get timing here, but he's already up, already early. He scores. So many different endings for us here this evening. That's wide. It's coming in very square to the net. Vucevic. Challenge from Serbia, looking for that in out.
Serbia.
It's a right side player, Vucevic. Playing right side and left side very different. You have to drive into the ball a little bit more as a left sider. Can be more square on as a right sider. Really far out. Del Zotto playing quarterback at the moment. Tom Brady style. He can see the plays before they've even happened. It's a game of speed, distance, time and angles. They go through Bruno. Vucevic this time really high. Does get the ball back cross court, which he couldn't have done in the previous play. They're trying to take Bruno on here. Slightly smaller blocker. Bruno's gambling on the line. Two-two. 2-2. It's a scrap. It's an absolute scrap. Lille, off the hands. Jovovic chases that one almost through the advertising boards. Way downtown, swing from Sajovic. Gets the rub of the green. Serbia are starting to believe. Pekovic Libero has always driven enthusiasm through this team. Smart plays. Catching Bruno on the way down. Service pressure as well. Slightly off the net. Bruno goes to the middle. Exemplary stuff from the Brazilian captain, finding Lucas from way off the net. It's a super spike, super setting as well. Bruno loses the blockers, finds Lucas, and he pierces the seat. Slightly tight from Jovic. Serbia playing so well here, but it's 2 tight sets in a row. What are we watching? Bruno serving at 4-3. Serbia playing great without some of their big guns. Setting from the middle, sublime from Jovic as well. Any young setters watching the game, they're using the middle with the ball out of system. So good. And because of that, the hitters can find the splits and the seams in the block. Straight down the line, Bruno's going to have difficult to find the middle. He goes to the outside. Good hands from Serbia. How many kill blocks are they going to make this evening? Serbia have a habit of making great blockers in world volleyball. And it's fantastic serving as well. They're serving straight down the line. Let's see it happen again. Because Bruno will not want to set the ball through the right side because he wants to spread the play. Can he use the middle is the question. He does go back to the right side this time. It's a much better pass and Lille scores. Difference between this one and the previous one, the pass was on more of an angle. Bruno could shift it straight back to 2. Front court receiver, trying to put him under pressure in these later stages. Vucevic, stop it. What again? Playing his volleyball in Serbia, surely he's going to attract attention of bigger leagues playing like this. Now he's serving, poses a threat as well. Lille. Brazil are out of system, but they're good at hitting their way out of trouble, but not this time. Pekovic again, the libero, running around, motivating everybody. That ball's just travelled across Lucarelli. Loses his control of the spike. Substitution for Brazil. Looks as if Lucas Lowe has come in for Yoandi Lille. The serve from Serbia. Welcome back to the service line, Lucas Saka. Every time they return now, it's going to be with an ounce or 2 more pressure. Passing from Serbia is very good off service pressure. That's why they're siding out. Serovic has been incredible as well, stable in the pass, but also creative in the way that he's attacking. Good decision-making off the middle blocker who's still drifting, not penetrating. Had a great game. Change of ends. One way or another. This is Brazil, they're undefeated in the VNL. Only that, Bruno is back, pulling the strings. But yet, they're looking like they might just lose their first game of this VNL campaign. Not yet. The change of ends again, the disruption of rhythm for the server, Vucevic. Concentration at the max. And with the serve, it's a good serve as well, but the passing is on point. But Lucarelli with the defense, spreading the play like butter is Bruno. Allen doing the rest. Replacing Wallace is not an easy job, but he's doing some wonderful work out there. 102.4 kilometers an hour. We're back to 8-8 with the opposite man. Allen causing some destruction. It's a huge serve to knock Serbia out of system. They need to find an answer. Allen again. It's like a magnet out there at the moment. And finally, Lucarelli puts Brazil back in control. Allen, a replacement for Wallace, showing his class out here this evening. And it's Lucarelli with the kill. Off the hands, out of play. Serbia have timed out here for a reason. They could see the finish line, and they've started to falter.
Za korak ranije. Pomeri se slobodno korak levo. Nemoj da čekaš ovamo. Kad podbaci, slobodno se pomeri na korak levo. I ostajemo ovamo. Ljudi, nemoj da nas nervira to što su se odbranili i udarili kontru, okej? Igraju ljudi, prema tome strpljenje, prijema, udari, pazite na ovu sajlu.
What a treat. Setters both having fine games. Djokovic finding the middle at times where no one would expect him to. Good timeout from Serbia. Couple of looks at the coach to say that one's for you. The timeout just disrupts that rhythm, the momentum from the baseline. Lucarelli passing in system, and it's so difficult to stop Brazil, but it's footwork from Katic. No way from Serbia. It's just out, but wow. Moral of the story, though, from Serbia is that you cannot serve this Brazilian team into control of the first pass, because Bruno just flips it off the body towards Flavio, but Bruno is at his best here. More service pressure. Chases on, recovery work. Brazil chasing all over the place. Tension, unbelievable. Block out from Bruno. Katic gets the point this time. What are we watching? Lucarelli just full stretch, getting his wrist underneath it. Bruno not quite finishing. Tied at 10, race to 5, clutch moments, VNL, week 3, game 1. Lucas Lowe passing well, and Bruno knows that his opposite man is on flames at the moment. The hottest property on this court. Allen. It's another point for him. 7 now. Substitutes from earlier on. No Wallace, no Yoandi Lille as well. Lille has been sacrificed for Lucas Lowe, who's just going to add some passing stability. That's what Brazil need. They need to get the ball in system. Jump serving from Katic. Long, not wide. Said this was going to be a battle of 2 heavyweights. We're in the 12th round, and it looks like it's going to point it. Bruno into the net, the most experienced player. Goes back through his actions, costly as well. Brazil struggling here. Kuzmanovic, 11 points this evening. How instrumental has he been in the performance? It's the middles teaming up against Brazil. Okolic. But the serve is quick. It's a fast-moving float serve. Valles is beaten low. Overpass dealt with. Okolic in control. Serbia in control. Brazil haven't lost in the VNL yet this season. This would be a fantastic win for Serbia. It would be their third win on the bounce. This is Serbia's 5th VNL match that has gone to the deciding set. 5th in a row to the tiebreak. Lille back in for Lucas Lowe. Why has Lille come in? To hit the ball on the floor. Good serving again. Lucarelli passing tight, but it's Bruno trying to shape it back with one hand, but there's a net touch against Bruno. Timeout Brazil. Match point Serbia. It wasn't a bad pass, it was so aggressive, trying to get Brazilian system, so Bruno had every option. Iran and Russia are at the top of the Nations League, having lost one match. France have lost one as well. Brazil undefeated, but look at the score. Serving for the match. Kuzmanovic, who has played so well out of system again. It's a stabby pass from Lucarelli. It's another overpass from Brazil, and it's good night. Their unbeaten run has come to the end at the hands of Serbia. It's their 5th match in a row that's gone to a tiebreak. After losing their opening 4 matches, they've won their last 3, and they climb the VNL table again. Brazil have brought their big guns, and it hasn't worked out for them. Bruno coming back, playing his first game of the VNL. It's been unfortunate for him. Yoandi Lille teaming up with Bruno for the first time. No good this evening. Credit to that man there. Nikola Gerbitz has led his team to beat the unbeaten here in Portugal. They will climb up to 3 wins, you'd imagine, above Argentina. Up to 7th or 8th place as we have a look at how the game ended here in Gondomar. Kuzmanovic serving right the way across the body of Lucarelli. It's another sloppy play from Brazil, but golden for Serbia. They can be so proud of their performance, missing a few of their big players. Well, the opening game here in Gondomar has gone all the way. Brazil, big news, have lost their opening game of this week after going 6 unbeaten. Some stats, start to finish, more attacks from Brazil. The blocking of Serbia, of course, how could we forget that? They were on fire at the net. More serves from Brazil, and more errors from Serbia as well, but the blocking is a huge stat in this game. Serbia brought blocks in abundance. Well, who would have protected that one first up? Okolic, very good in the middle today as well. So let's have a look at the results and the fixtures for VNL Week 3. Wins for the USA against Argentina. Germany leading France by 1-0. Serbia have just beaten Brazil here in Portugal. Portugal v China in that basement battle coming up next. Varna, well, Italy triumphing against Japan 3-1. Bulgaria and Australia, that's a huge battle at the bottom of the table as well. 1-1 at the moment in Varna. 3-1, Russia beat Poland, the world champions under Vital Hainen. Iran are flying on home turf as well, beating Canada 3-0. Well, what a start to proceedings here in the VNL. Brazil have lost their first game of the Volleyball Nations League. We'll see you again very, very soon.